demo how to cook one of our You-Cook kits from Chestnut. This one is the Pork Belly Ramen, and it comes in this nice neat little kit. It's got the vegetables, the bone broth, and it's got all the other things that you need right inside this little to-go box. And included are the noodles, some hickory nut gap pork belly, some ginger-garlic-scallion, some plum glaze, and then we have the beautiful Tamari eggs. Oh my God, they're so good. And you want to preheat your oven to 350. So we'll start with the noodles. So here's your little noodles. This is what I would call a huge amount of noodles for one person, but a perfect amount of noodles for two people. So you just cut open the bag. You got your water boiling over here. I always salt the water that I use. Just dump that in there and give it a good spin and let that cook. And of course, people always say how long to cook things, and my stock answer is till it's done. It'll be about 3 to 5 minutes, okay, for al dente noodles. These are fresh noodles, so they're not as hard as really dry noodles. Then what you do is you take your pork belly out in these nice, neat little packages, and it's really pretty how it's set up. So you got 2 nice wedges per person. The way that we set the You-Cook kits up are in multiples of 2. You can order 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. So if you got a bunch of people at your house, you can make these all at once. So we're just going to make the 2 that we have. This is the plum glaze that goes over your hickory nut gap pork belly, which we prepare, and it's very yummy. It's actually fully cooked at this point. All right, and you can see I'm putting it on a little pan here to go in the oven. Let's hold on to some of that glaze because you don't have to use it all. All right, and then you just set them up and throw these in the oven. Okay, we'll let those go for about 12 minutes, and that way they'll be hot through. Although they're fully cooked, you also want to get some caramelization, which gives you an opportunity for extra flavor. So we're about 30 seconds away from these noodles being done. All right, and so to drain the noodles, we go like so. And then we're going to get right into preparing our broth. The sesame oil. And you can just use regular cooking oil if you don't have sesame oil, but like I said, we're assuming, since you're buying food from Chestnut, that you're already a foodie. So you probably have this in your house. If you don't be ashamed. You can just use regular old vegetable oil, or I use a lot of grapeseed oil in my cooking if you want to do that. So that's going to get hot. And you can see I used a goodly amount. It's like at least a tablespoon. And you can smell it. Everyone in the house is going to know that you're doing something special when you put that on there. So then I used about half a tablespoon of ginger-garlic-scallion mix. So 2 teaspoons, half a tablespoon right in there. And there's extra. Okay, so you can save this for the next time you make some Asian food, because that is the flavor you want, is ginger-garlic-scallions. You can see it's at a sizzle. And that's all you need to get it started. Alright, and then to that you're going to add the bok choy and the roasted shiitake mushrooms and get those rolling. You do not have to cook the bok choy very much at all, so literally you just get this in there, get it starting to wilt. And then Chef Crow is the one who wrote the directions, and he wrote Deglaze with the bone broth, which is actually what you're doing, but you don't probably know what the heck Deglaze means. That's okay, don't feel bad. So then you just put that in there and you let it simmer. Alright, so that's going to come up to temp. And if you're in a hurry, you can, and you've already got your pork belly hot in the oven, you can just go for it. But you can also stop this right now and you can wait. Get the table set, have a glass of wine, enjoy yourself, and then you can just start it up again. So once this comes up to a simmer, what you want to do is you want to add the Tamari eggs. Now these are from Farside, which is a local egg producer. We use them for all our eggs. Great people. And I'm just going to slide these in here, and all you're really doing with these is you're just reheating them. So you want to give them a couple of minutes in there. And then also, this is the secret ingredient. There's no label on this one. So keep it away from the kids, because this is sriracha, which has definitely got some spice to it. All right? And I put a little bit of sriracha in mine because I like a little bit of spice. If I were making this for my wife, I would put all this in, and then we would look for some more because she really likes spicy food. So there it is. So we're going to wait just a minute and get that to a simmer. And we're going to take these noodles, and we're just going to toss them in there. And like I said, these eggs are cooked. The pork belly is cooked. So all you're doing is you're just getting this stuff up to temp. Let this simmer for about a minute. So we're just going to kind of pause and come back to it. Okay, so now we're at the point where things are boiling really, really nicely. I'm going to turn this off. And the pork belly is nice and hot. You can see it sizzling away with the plum glaze on there. And all we're going to do, and here's the part where you're just going to have to trust yourself, because what you're going to do is you're going to split this between two bowls. These are not traditional Asian bowls, but they'll do. These are more like pasta bowls. But that's okay, because not everybody's going to have everything in their house. So what I do is I immediately take my eggs out to make sure that I don't mess that up. And then I take a goodly amount of noodles, and then another good amount of noodles. So I make sure that I got it split up pretty evenly between the two. And then just pour this over the top. And I'm a pretty messy cook, to which my wife will attest. And you can probably make this look a lot nicer than I can, but you get the idea. And then you put the pork belly on top. And then, if you're really feeling like a stickler, what you can do is you can just kind of wipe the edges and make sure that your bowls look good. If you have it, you can sprinkle it with a mixture of mint and cilantro if you've got cilantro in the garden. Another thing that might be lovely would be black and white sesame seeds, which I actually have. This is servable, ready to go. You can see it's steaming hot. It's easy. It took us total about 10 minutes to make. Pork belly ramen, you cook kit from Chestnut.